We are co-hosting the media conference immediately before today's mass rally at noon to call for justice for Sammy Yatim. What happened to Sammy Yatim was deplorable and totally avoidable. But what is more alarming is the remarkable similarities this case has with other police shootings in Toronto and elsewhere across the province.
We organized a conference from which this report came about, called Saving Lives, Alternatives to the Lethal Use of Force by Police. We hope that this press conference and the subsequent rally will be an opportunity to translate our energies towards meaningful solutions for the good of the community, the good of the city, and the betterment of policing in this diverse city.
Sammy Yatim's death was preventable. All our loved ones' deaths are preventable. As has been said before, there's been many, many reports that have come out about change and how many coroner's inquests we have to go through and how many recommendations do we have to have come out of these coroner's inquests for the police to listen.
The police system had failed us again. And, you know, I look back at all the inquests that happened before O'Brien's death, O'Brien's inquest that I spent many days in, and all the recommendations that came out of that inquest. And again, nothing was done, and the justice system that we believe in, that they've asked us to believe in, has failed us again.
I don't think that such a violent killing of somebody one loves can ever be got over. And so I don't think I will ever get over that, and I don't think my daughters will ever get over that. In trying to create change, I think we have to look at what's already been done. We have studies and reports gathering dust in places all over this country. We've paid probably millions of tax dollars to have those things done. All the recommendations that need to be put in place to safeguard the life of Canadian citizens are sitting in print for anybody who's interested to implement those things. One thing that can be done about that is if people write a letter to the Ministry of the Attorney General asking him to institute the recommendations in the Ontario Ombudsman's reports, and also to stop the Ministry of the Attorney General from directing the SIU director not to publish his reports and make them public.
These are real people who get killed, you know. They're not just abstract. They have mothers and people who love them. And some of us work with them for years and get to love them in absentia. We've had a lot of investigations. We've had a huge number of recommendations. The recommendations don't get followed on the street. And now we all saw in Sammy Yatim's case by video what they do. A number of officers standing around with guns yelling at him. None of them tries to make any approach to him. Why doesn't it happen? Because the police are not policed.
When 18 months ago we said never again that we wanted changes, why are we here today? Mourning and activating for Sammy Yatim. This is a political decision. The police will not change on their own. We need to act. We do need to write letters. We do need to stand up, and today we do need to march.
I'm here because I'm concerned about police violence in Toronto. There's a long history of police violence in Toronto and police protecting certain types of crime and at the same time punishing people for being mentally ill or just for being people of color.
We want justice for Sammy and what happened. We want this to never happen again. We want them to be able to use negotiations and not just resort to violence.
I'm here today to see what Blair's gonna say, right? And hopefully he's gonna do something rational and actually condemn and investigate what really happened.
The people at the grassroots, the families, the communities that are so deeply affected and torn apart for years of their lives by police killings that are unaccountable need to get together and unify their voice, because we do have a basis of unity across all political stripes, which is that we need to end police impunity and make sure that those who carry guns are held to account so that we don't keep burying our loved ones.
We we represent workers from across the province, 1 million of them, whose families live in Ontario, and they deserve public safety, and they deserve to make sure when their children leave home in the daytime, they come home safely at night. And I think we got our clear message across that there has to be accountability, that the Attorney General must be involved, and that we can't just have another report, we can't just have another inquest, that in fact these recommendations need to be implemented, and not just in Toronto, it has to be across the province.